All right, there we go. Hello, YouTube, etc., as I call you. How are we doing? Let me get Instagram going, and then Substack is starting on its own automatically. 1 second, Instagram. There we go. Okay, Substack, copy and paste. When I start going senile, I will not be able to do this show. There's still way too many buttons to push. It's like, oh my God. All right. Oop. Hang on here. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I was just, as always, getting everything set up. It takes a second, NJ, you know. Or did I disappear? I don't know why it disappeared. That I can't help you. But there we go. Okay, that's good. TikTok, go live, and we are set. Excellent. All right. All righty, TikTok, flip this. We're good. I do have to change those GIFs. I got to remember that. Anyway, all right, welcome everybody. Happy Monday, July 6th. We had a crazy 4th of July weekend here in Washington. The weather is still a little warm. Hey, Riverview. Weather is still a little warm, but better than it was. So at least we are heading back towards regular summer weather, which is good, because it was hideous here like it was in Europe earlier. Anyway, hello folks, how are we doing today? Yeah, we'll start with the 4th of July. I'm going to start with the 4th of July stuff because it was insane. Trump screwed it all up, of course. Then we've got a lot of other news, a lot of racist stuff today, actually, unfortunately, from Trump and his people. Hey, Mama. Ann in Wisconsin. Hey, Dave. Anyway, still adjusting my camera a tad. There we go. Anyway, I had the curtains closed, but then the sun went away, so now the curtains are open again, which is good. So that's nice, at least. I like the curtains open. It gives the room kind of more of a, and you can see the flowers, which here. There you go. You can see the flowers when I've got the curtains open, which I like to a degree, depending on what angle I'm sitting at, but it's a nicer look. Anyway, guys, welcome. We're going to talk about the latest news. You know how this works. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Mel. I start with the stories that I think are relevant, and then we will move on from there. Let's just get rolling. So please keep the gifts coming, guys. Appreciate your help with that. I do this for a living, so your gifts are very much appreciated. TikTok, YouTube, everybody else. And let's just get rolling. All right, guys. So 4th of July. Trump screwed it up. Big surprise. So 4th of July is a big deal here in Washington, D.C. Who is that from? Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Yeah, Ash, fill Amanda in. The 4th of July is a big deal in Washington, D.C. We usually get several 100,000 people on the mall. Trump did not get as many. I'm going to read about that in a minute. But even worse, Trump decided for possibly the first time in American history that he was going to introduce the fireworks with a political speech for an hour. No president introduces the fireworks. The fireworks and the 4th of July are not about the president. They're about the country. And every other president, Republican and Democrat, has known that and recognized that, and they've left the fireworks alone. Not Donald Trump. Donald Trump demanded he was going to do a speech. Well, things got a little hinky. So first of all, Trump, we don't quite know why. Trump decides his speech is going to be at 9:45 p.m. Now, thank you, Mel. Why 9:45 p.m.? Nobody knows. The fireworks in Washington always start around 9:12 p.m. 4th of July is the same every year. The sun sets, and then we have to wait until twilight is gone, right? We have to wait till twilight's gone. And the fireworks start around 9:12 p.m. Trump decides this year he's going to give a speech at 9:45 p.m., and the fireworks are going to start around 11 p.m. And we're all going, why? Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? The fireworks are at 9 o'clock, 9:12. Why start the fireworks at 11? And Trump's speech at 9:45. Why couldn't if Trump felt the need to give a speech because he's a narcissistic, horrific human being who has to steal the nation's 250th anniversary and make it about himself, then why can't he give his speech at 8 o'clock and then do the fireworks at 9:12, the usual time? Who the hell knows? So Trump decides he's going to do his speech at 9:45, fireworks are at 11. Well, we start to get rain, we start to get lightning. The Park Service cancels the fireworks because literally there's lightning and rain, and lightning's really dangerous with people on the mall. Trump countermands the order. Trump finds out that they canceled the fireworks because of the, thank you, Julie, because the, and thank you, Remy, that they canceled the fireworks because of the lightning. Trump countermanded the order and said, no, we're doing the fireworks. I don't care if there's rain and lightning. Okay, that would be incredibly dangerous, but again, he doesn't care. So Trump finally starts his speech at around 11 p.m. or 11:15. Thank you, Diana, speaking of fireworks. Around 11:15, 11 o'clock. Again, 11 o'clock. I went to bed. I was supposed to go with a friend, and we were going to go to another friend's roof, an elderly friend, and we were going to go to her roof, and it was 11 o'clock. It was a little late, but we all decided we were going to do it. And the fireworks then get delayed because Trump then isn't going to do his speech until 11:15, and the fireworks aren't going to start until 12 or 12:15. We said, that's it. So we quit. We didn't go out. Everyone went to bed. I mean, it really pissed me off because I always watch even on my TV, at least I watch the fireworks every year here. Washington, D.C., I can go on my roof and watch. Most roofs, and it's small, but you can still watch. It's kind of fun. So he does his speech. Well, Trump's speech goes until like 11:59 p.m. And he suddenly cuts the speech off, I'm told, because he realized he was in danger of starting the fireworks at July 5th. If he went one more minute, the fireworks would not be July 4th fireworks. So he stopped his speech, started the fireworks. They went for 40 minutes. Nobody saw them. They had to evacuate the mall because of the lightning. Most of the people didn't come back. It was a bust. What a surprise. There's also video showing that, thank you, son, that Trump also screwed up because, and this is not a surprise, he had like 20 or 40 times the fireworks that they normally have. Hold on. Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. He had something like 20 to 40 times the fireworks they normally have. Well, the problem you get with a lot of fireworks is smoke, and the smoke covers up the fireworks. Well, that's exactly what it did. You couldn't see the fireworks after a while. The other problem is, and thank God it didn't come my way. Usually the fireworks come my way into Washington, D.C., and it's like fog out there. Well, this time they went to Northern Virginia, and apparently they blanketed Northern Virginia. The day after, yesterday, we had a warning about air quality, and the journalists looked into it. The air quality was the worst of any city in the world. Any city in the world, which is crazy. Anyway, who the hell knows? Discord, who the hell knows, people? Discord. I can't. Nothing's changed. Who the hell? The sound is being bad on Discord. Anyway, so that was a disaster. David Packman wrote this. Listen to this. Do people realize how big a failure Trump's fireworks show was? In 1976, for the Bicentennial, 500,000 people showed up, compared to Trump's 150,000. The population was much smaller in 1976. So 500,000 in 1976 was a lot more than 500,000 today. Trump's turnout was barely 1/6 that of 1976 on a per capita basis. Now, not surprisingly, because the weather wasn't great, it was hotter than hell. And who the hell wanted to go watch Donald Trump talk for an hour? I'm not going to go sit in the 100-degree weather and watch Donald Trump talk about how great he is. No, Trump, it's really, and I've talked to a lot of people about this. Those of us who were alive in 1976 for the Bicentennial, and those of us who were old enough to remember it, it was a big deal. The Bicentennial was so exciting. It was, literally nationwide, we were so excited about it. This 4th of July, I couldn't have cared less. It was no big deal. It was no big deal. There was nothing. There was no excitement. There was nothing. He set up that stupid fair on the mall that was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen. It was like a child set it up. They had bulletin boards. For each state had a bulletin board and like a postcard of the state. I mean, it was embarrassing. We are one of the greatest countries on earth. And he couldn't even celebrate our nation's birthday with something that didn't look like a child designed it, let alone our 250th birthday. This was the Iran war of birthdays, right? He lost Iran. He lost the 250. I mean, literally, this pisses me off. You know, they like to talk about how patriotic they are. He destroyed this nation's 250th birthday. He did nothing for it. Yeah, he did some nice fireworks. That's it. That's it. You know, celebrating the nation's birthday. And they took the money. Exactly. They took the money for it. But you really should. That thing is through July 10th. You really need to go to the mall and look. I may go back again, by the way. You need to go to that pathetic. I got to send Damien a message, by the way. I forgot about that. Hold on. I'm going to send Damien a message. Hold on. We need to go back to that state fair on the mall. It's till the 10th. I want more video. You need to see it. Let's see if Damien's in the mood to go see it. I really cannot tell you how. Oh, I went live for half an hour last time. I cannot tell you how pathetic it was. I mean, quite literally, it looked like something out of high school. It reminded me of not high school, grade school. When we used to have those fairs, whatever they called them when you were in grade school, in America at least. And like, remember, one of the things they had was that spinning piece of paper that you took oh, hey, thank you. Oh, dolphin. Very cool with the stingray. Ooh, I like that. Thank you. Thank you, Gene, for the fireworks. And you'd squeeze the paint onto the spinning wheel. Had they had that at the fair, it would have been better. That's the kind of thing this was. It was like those grade school, fairs where they had like pictures on the wall. Had they had spin art, it would have been a step in the right direction. But they had pictures on the wall. That's it. Bulletin boards with pictures. It was pathetic. It was absolutely pathetic. Anyway, it is offensive that for this country, this is what they came up with. Anyway, pisses me off. Stephen Miller. So Stephen Miller went on a racist rant about Independence Day. I want to see if I can find the actual rant because it really was something else. Mind you, the 4th of July, Independence Day, is normal people. It's about rallying the country and bringing us all together. In Trump land, of course, it was about, being racist. Of course, big surprise. I'm going to see if I can find this. Give me a quick second here. Let me find this. Hold on. It's not always easy to find these things. Yesterday, I'm going to keep scrolling here. Oh, actually, I want to show you this one. I want to save this. I'm like looking at things to show you guys in a second here. But Independence Day, he chose to put out a racist tweet. And he got it wrong, too, which was the funniest thing. Hang on. Come on, Steven, you POS. I think that's the coolest thing. Thank you, guys. I've never seen those before. They're really cool. Oops, now I've got to go through we saw all the planes flying over, which was very cool. Lots of planes flying over on Independence Day. That was a lot of fun. If I can't find this, I'm going to paraphrase it, but I would like to be able to find it. I've got so many crazy things here I grabbed. Here we go. I think this may be an interview. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller went predictably nuts after bizarrely comparing America to a plane and citizens to trained pilots. He got down to his really concern, namely that people from S-hole countries aren't fit to be Americans. Stephen Miller, quote, "We have people from all over the world, from third world nations that on their own would have never invented the wheel, let alone modern technology, let alone medicine, let alone air travel, and they just come into this country." Okay. I think I've still got my notes here. Let me see here. Here we go. Okay. Stephen Miller on Independence Day. We are letting people in from third world countries, nations that on their own would have never invented the wheel. Guess where the wheel came from? The wheel came from Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, in 3500 BC. 3500 BC, when our country didn't exist at all, and frankly, Europe, the Greeks were just about to get there. Even the Greeks weren't getting there yet with the Minoan civilization and all of them, okay? And these guys invented the wheel. Stephen Miller literally said third world countries could never invent the wheel like we did it. Iraq invented the wheel. Iraq invented the freaking wheel, right? Really? I mean, complete idiot. Next, he says they could never, let alone modern technology, let alone medicine, let alone air travel. So I did a little research. One of the people who helped make the Apollo program happen was Farouk El-Baz, born in Egypt, who trained astronauts and helped select lunar landing sites. Modern skyscrapers, that would be Fazlur Rahman Khan, born in what is now Bangladesh, who revolutionized how super tall buildings are built. HIV/AIDS medicine, Dr. Jean-William Pop from Haiti built one of the first major developing world institutions dedicated to fighting AIDS. Brain injury science, Dr. Bennett Omalu, born in Nigeria, discovered CTE in American football players. Wartime trauma medicine, Dr. Denis Mukwege from the Democratic Republic of Congo became the world's leading surgeon treating survivors of sexual violence. The National Institutes of Health, Dr. Elias Zerhouni, born in Algeria, ended up running it. Yellow fever, Carlos Finlay from Cuba figured out that mosquitoes spread it. Yeah, but those third world countries, they could never do anything with medicine. But again, my favorite is for that racist to sit there and say, a third world country could never develop the wheel. They literally developed the wheel. He thinks we invented the wheel. It's like, dude. No, but again, Alexa, raise the temperature 1 degree. I always tell people that don't always assume they're ignorant. Don't always assume they're ignorant. Like even with Stephen Miller. I think it is just as likely that these guys are liars as they are stupid. Stephen Miller is many things, but he's not stupid. Thank you, Julie, for the gift, right? They know their followers are not the brightest people. They know their followers love to be lied to, right? So that Stephen Miller tells them the third world didn't invent the wheel, and they don't go and research it. They just go, yeah, Stephen Miller said, did you know we invented the wheel, right? Oh, thank you, Tarad. Oh, very nice gift there, Tarad. Thank you for that, right? I think that's why Stephen Miller does it. I think he does it because it's easy to lie and their people believe it so that he knows he's lying. Anyway, that was just a particularly, again, sick but typical of these guys, as you know. What else? We do have a lot of news today. What else we have? 400 white supremacists descended on Washington, D.C. this weekend. I forget, was it Patriot Front they were called? Well, the Republicans started freaking out. Mike Lee, Republican Senator, Laura Ingraham, they're Democrats, they're Antifa, pretending to be white supremacists. Well, first big problem, did Antifa pretend to be the white supremacist leader who's known nationwide and who took his mask off and spoke in front of the cameras? Right. The guy, his last name's like French. It's like Rousseau or something. He literally stood in front of the cameras with his mask off, and everybody knows he's the leader of the Patriot Front white supremacist group. So, right? Oh yeah, they claimed it was liberals pretending to be Antifa, or pretending to be white supremacists, right? But here's the thing that I find fascinating. Why do Laura Ingraham and Republican senators, why are they so worried about white supremacists? Meaning, why are they so much trying to disassociate themselves from white supremacists? No one said the white supremacists were Republicans, but Laura Ingraham and Mike Lee seem to think that there's a connection between the white supremacists and Republicans, right? Because they were desperate to explain, these guys are fake, they're not real. Well, why, if you have nothing to do with them, why do you care if they're fake or real, right? If you're not white supremacists, if you're not in cahoots with these people, right, why? Thank you, JMC, appreciate that, right? What's the problem? But in their mind, they seem to associate the white supremacists with Republicans, and they feel the need to disassociate it, but no one accused them of being Republicans. But in their mind, there was a connection. Kind of interesting. Oh God, Trump today. I have to show you this. Trump today attacked a group of kindergartners in America that would be 4 and 5-year-olds in Minnesota. Trump did not like the fact that the kindergartners are Muslim Americans, and in their kindergarten, they were wearing, in their graduation photo, a number of them were wearing hijabs. The hijab is the, Muslim head, whatever it is for women. Trump tweeted a photo of the children, of their faces, a detailed photo of their faces, and attacked them. I'm going to show you a photo that I blurred out to show you what he sent. I blurred out their faces. So this is the children where you can't see their faces. Okay. It was actual video. Trump literally retweeted the video because the attack was public school in St. Paul, Minnesota. Every girl in a hijab in kindergarten. Now, I may not be a big fan of a hijab, but they're Muslim and conservative Muslims. That's what they wear. What do you want to do about it? Right. Also, they're 4 and 5-year-olds. You don't put the face of a 4 and 5-year-old in your Twitter feed when you're the president of the United States with a lot of crazy followers and hundreds of thousands of people watching and attack those children and put their faces out there. You're literally putting the children's lives at risk. This was beyond sick. Absolutely beyond. Thank you, Sadie. Absolutely beyond sickening. I don't know that it's a lawsuit. First, he's the president, so he gets away with anything, but I'm also not convinced that there's a legal basis for it. It's pretty sick, though. Again, I'm not a big fan of conservative Islam, to be honest. I do think all the stuff that make the women wear, I do think it's sexist, but it's what they do. It's their religion. And what's your point? Right? What's your point? That we've got conservative Muslims in America? Yeah. Are you saying we shouldn't have conservative Muslims in America? Okay. Well, then how about conservative Christians? Should we have them in America? How about Mormons? I mean, right? Like, shall we go through the list and pick and choose which religions we like and don't like? Thank you for the popcorn there, Linda. I mean, no, we should not. That is not America, right? You don't get to pick which religion you like and don't like. There's lots of religions I don't like either. I don't get to pick. JMC had a super chat. Thank you. You're right on when it comes to telling the truth about this horrible administration and their supporters attacking kinders at sick. Yeah, I mean, and again, when Trump attacks people by name, it puts their lives at risk. He literally posted, yeah, they're not a religion, Joshua. I will draw the line at certain people. You don't post the photo of 4 and 5-year-old children and attack them. Right? You just don't. You don't. No, I mean, this is sick stuff, but again, look who we're dealing with. World Cup. Looks like America just cheated at the World Cup. What a surprise. So I am not a sports guy. I did my reading. I should get this more or less correct. The U.S. had a match against Bosnia, and one of our players, this guy, forget his name, he's ironically a birthright citizenship guy. The only reason he's in our country as a citizen is because of birthright. Oh my God. Oh, that's cool, Brown-Eyed. I'd not seen that before. That was very cool. Thank you. Balogun, but I'm still not going to say the name. Balogun. And in the match with Bosnia, he steps on another player's ankle, gets a red card, which is basically like a violation that says you really screwed up. You missed the next game. It's irrelevant whether or not that was a good call by the judge, right? The referee. People debate that in sports all the time. Trump gets on the phone to the head of FIFA, which is the head of the international soccer group that runs the World Cup, who just happens to be the Italian sycophant who came and gave Trump the the first ever FIFA Peace Prize. Remember that idiot who gave Trump the Peace Prize? Trump calls him up and says, this wasn't fair. He admitted it. This wasn't fair. You should revisit it. So for Donald Trump, the guy revisited it and reversed it. And the player is now playing today, or has already played, against Belgium, playing for the U.S. This is the first time since the early 1960s that a red card, this kind of violation, was reversed in the World Cup. Because Donald Trump weighed in and lobbied. I mean, this is sick stuff. We cheated. We basically cheated. You know? I mean, doesn't matter. That's the thing. Exactly. It doesn't matter. I mean, whether the red card, this is sports, right? If the referee does a bad call, you're not allowed to cheat to get around the bad call. And that's the problem. Donald Trump cheated. Donald Trump called his friend and pressured him and got it reversed. That's sick. And especially the World Cup, right? You're talking the number one, game in the world for soccer, right? As we call it. Pretty sick stuff. Typical for Donald Trump, though. What a surprise. Trump, oh my God. Trump attacked Giorgia Meloni again. There's something wrong with him. Trump is again attacking the Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni. He tweeted this today. I kid you not. This is real. This is freaking real. Thank you, Tree. Trump tweeted a picture of the Italian Prime Minister. Now, mind you, this is probably AI, but allegedly looking at Trump lovingly and put restraining order needed. This is a top American ally. This is a sexist attack meant to piss her off. This is the kind of thing you post about your enemies if you're a child. It is kind of stalking as well, what Cricket just said. Keep in mind what he did. I mean, this is sick. This is dementia behavior. This is sick behavior. Keep in mind what he did with her before. It's sexually harassing her. Previously, because he's pissed at her. 2 reasons. Trump attacked the Pope. She defended the Pope. She's the Italian Prime Minister. She's going to defend the Pope. That's what they do, right? Secondly, she refused to join Donald Trump's war on Iran. Smart of her, considering America lost that war. Donald Trump lost that war. Kind of smart for her not to get involved. Well, he was pissed at her. And he did the series of tweets attacking her about a week or 2 ago, saying, she came up to me at the NATO summit and she was desperate. She was desperate for my photo. She's doing so badly in the polls in Italy that she wanted my photo and it was pathetic. And I said, no. She responds and goes, yeah, that wasn't true. That never happened. He responds again and goes on begging. That was it, begging. Right. He goes, she was begging. She responds and goes, yeah, that's not true. And she goes, and by the way, Donald, neither Italy nor I beg for anything. He goes after her again. And she responds and says, Donald, why is it that you repeatedly attack America's allies and Europe's allies, but you never once criticize America's enemies and Europe's enemies? I mean, good of her to point this out, right? That finally dies down. 2 weeks later, he attacks her again with this crap, claiming she's a sexist, she's a stalker who's in love. Mind you, she's 49 years old and beautiful. He's 80 years old and obese and seems like he's having dementia issues. There's a lot of reasons that beautiful 49-year-old brilliant woman would not be into the obese 80-year-old, but this is what he does. Keep in mind, why do this? Why do this, right? She's one of America's top allies. Why do this? How does this? It doesn't help America. It doesn't. It helps him. It helps him. Mickey, let it go. It helps him, right? Doesn't help America. Completely inappropriate. It hurts our country. You don't do that to one of our top allies. You don't do that to one of our top allies. Just incredibly inappropriate. No, he likes to attack women. He likes to attack strong women. Honestly, he's probably got the hots for her, knowing him. And she kind of was like, yeah. No, I mean, again, not only a sexist pig, but this is America's national security. This is about defending our country. This is about defending our country against our enemies. And you literally put our country at risk when you attack our allies. You literally put American troops at risk. You put our nation at risk. You put our national security at risk. You actually put us in a position that we are more likely to face a war if you damage our relationship with our top allies, because it tells our enemies that we're not in as good of a state with our top allies. So for Donald Trump to be doing this is literally endangering the military. It's endangering American national security. You don't have a problem with that? Well, then maybe you should think about whose side you're really on. Thank you, Garden Girl. Sick stuff, really sick stuff. What else we have here? One second here. New York Times, Trump relaxes gun laws. Gun laws allowing some people with mental illness who had been barred from possessing firearms to have them, because, who doesn't want people with mental illness to get firearms? Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. My apartment with the temperature. Trump added his name this weekend to the $100 bill. No president in American history has done that, but of course Trump did. By the way, how's inflation going? Still going through the roof. Trump's doing nothing to fight inflation, but he did put his name on the $100 bill. PBS reports that the White House, a White House report brands the leadership of the Smithsonian Institution, especially at the National Museum of American History, as radical activists who cannot be trusted, indicating that Trump may be preparing to install his own team. In other words, Trump is now going to do a rewrite of American history for our top museums. Let's talk a little about Ukraine. This was actually kind of fascinating. This is actually good news. Laura Loomer, kind of a wild one, that one. Laura Loomer is a Trump supporter. She's not a Trump supporter. She's a super duper Trump ally. Trump was attached to the hip with her during the presidential campaign. She ended up sort of getting disappeared for a while because in the last 2 months of the campaign, she kept popping up with Trump. She rode the plane with him. She kept giving him hugs, and people thought it looked a little weird. So maybe Melania did, who knows, right? So they kind of put her down the memory hole for the last couple months, but she's been very close to Trump. She's the one who got a bunch of people fired at the beginning of the Trump administration this time around because she said they weren't MAGA enough. This lady is wacky, but super powerful. She has just decided she is on Ukraine's side and she hates Russia. Now, President Zelensky did a wonderful tweet about the 4th of July yesterday. I don't know that I have the tweet in front of me, but he posted this. This is a famous monument. What the hell is the monument called, guys? I used to know this in Ukraine, in Kyiv. It's the monument. They put colors on it of the American flag, and it's like the Freedom Monument in Kyiv. But they put the colors of the American flag so that she's Lady Liberty, basically, right? I mean, pretty cool stuff, right? Very cool stuff. Well, the Motherland statue, thank you, Flying Medic, right? It's the Motherland statue. And Zelensky, I don't know that I wanted his tweets. In any case, Zelensky wrote a really beautiful tribute to 1776 and 1976, America. Laura Loomer responds. Now, Laura Loomer is this woman, just to remind you if you've seen her. Laura Loomer responds to Zelensky's tweet and says, "Very nice message from Ukraine Zelensky on July 4th, 2026. I guess I missed Russia's congratulatory message today. Oh, yeah, because Russia's too busy working to destroy American superiority, and their officials spent America $250 in Iran mourning Khamenei," meaning the Russians went to the funeral for the Iranian Ayatollah who we killed. She says, "I am now officially pro-Ukraine, ! Happy Independence Day." She's criticized Russia before. Her concern has been, Loomer, and this is true, that the Russians have been buying influence in the Republican Party. Remember, they gave like hundreds of thousands of dollars to Republican influencers who didn't bother asking where the money was coming from. These guys were getting like $100,000 a month. I mean, imagine like the work that I do, and somebody offered them $100,000 a month to tweet and stuff. Like, I would love that kind of money, but I think I'd want to know where the money's coming from. I'd be like worried about organized crime or something. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even think Russia. But like, I'd kind of want to know where it's coming from. They didn't ask. It ended up being Russia, going to all these right-wing influencers. She's pissed about it. And she has now become super anti-Russia and super pro-Ukraine. That's a big deal. Now, Trump is trouble. Trump hates Ukraine. Trump loves Putin. But Laura is a huge Trump supporter. Laura has a lot of influence with Trump. This is a very good thing for Ukraine. Again, let's see what happens, but this was a very good thing. What else we got? This was an interesting story. So the U.S. warned Poland that Russia may be preparing to attack in the next few months. The Polish government has also been worried about it. Keep the gifts coming, guys. Don't mean to be pushy, but, you know, mama gotta buy a brand new pair of shoes or whatever the hell the expression is. No, baby needs a new pair of shoes. Is that the expression? I keep forgetting what those expressions are. Thank you, Jackie. The U.S. warned Poland that, exactly, JMC, the U.S. warned Poland that the Russians may be preparing to attack in the next few months. Interesting that warning's coming from the U.S. Oh, mama needs a new pair of shoes. That's what it is, PC. Thank you. Well, this gets interesting because the Polish government also said publicly they were worried about it. Sikorski, who's the foreign minister who we trust, is also worried about it. Now, a lot of people were saying, well, you know, Russia's in so much trouble anyway with Ukraine. How they're not going to start another war with Europe. The concern is that, yeah, thank you, Poppy. Actually, they get blocked, by the way, that one. The concern is, actually, let's do a pitch for gifts. Whenever anybody bitches about gifts, it's time to do a pitch for gifts. So somebody goes, if you're so good, you don't need gifts. Really? If I'm so good, the rent, the mortgage pays itself? If I'm so good, the grocery store just like says, oh, thank you, Sheila. You're really good. You don't have to pay for groceries this time. I just got an MRI yesterday. $250, but you're really good. You don't have to pay the $250. Thank you, Marianne. No, people always, although that's obnoxious trolls saying that kind of crap, of course. No, some trolls said it on TikTok. Thank you, Maluda. Thank you, Yvonne. But sometimes people, I found that, and not just me, but other creators too. I found people saying that kind of crap before. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Nickelodeon. And it's just to remind, I mean, there are a lot of people who do this stuff full time, and that's why gifts matter, because you're literally supporting their work. Thank you, Chaperone. And if you like people, you know, I mean, thank you, Cindy. But I think especially, honestly, I've given gifts to people who don't even do it full. Like, I'll give gifts a lot of times to some of the younger creators because they do a good job and they're not doing it full time, but they're doing it a lot. And I'll occasionally give them gifts to kind of perk them up a little bit. But there's a lot of people who do this full time. And, you know, every bit helps. Anyway, I'll let it go. But when somebody's a jerk about it, then I feel the need to like take advantage of it and mention gifts. So Poland, the people were saying, well, but you know, Russia's in trouble in Ukraine. Thank you, Chazak. Russia's in trouble in Ukraine. They're not gonna. Thank you, Sadie. Thank you, Sheila. No, now everyone's doing gifts now. Thank you, guys. I always feel guilty then when I like push for gifts. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. Shayna, Sheila. The polls. I say Russia pushed for gifts. The thinking is, you know, Russia's in trouble in Ukraine. They don't have the troops to invade Poland. The thinking is they might do something different. What if, for example, I mean, here's an example people were pointing out, and I think this is entirely possible. Russia, here's one scenario. I don't know if this was in the Independent or the Telegraph today. Some experts were saying, what if Putin gets Belarus, his neighbor, together, and they cross into Poland. Could be a couple hundred troops, could be a couple thousand troops. cross into Poland and say, oh gosh, we're so sorry. Our GPS got screwed up. We weren't invading. We just crossed the border by accident. And oh, I'm sorry, our vehicles broke down. We can't withdraw immediately, but we will, don't worry. Right? Our supply lines were disrupted. We've got to get new parts for the Jeeps. And all of a sudden, then they start building tents for their troops. And this was the scenario that all of a sudden Putin hunkers down in a small part of Poland. And now Poland decides, and everybody said, oh, well, Poland could blow up the Russians. Poland could blow up the Russians and launch World War III. They could. Is Poland going to do that? Maybe. If Poland did that, NATO would go to war with the Russians and it would be World War III. Is NATO going to do that? Maybe. Is Donald Trump going to let that happen? No. The scenario was Donald Trump calls up the Poles and says, stop it. You do not invade. You do not attack the Russians. We will negotiate this away. I'll send Jared Kushner and he'll negotiate a deal. And the deal that's negotiated is that Poland stops supporting Ukraine in the war. I mean, I could easily see Donald Trump not want war with Russia. I could see Donald Trump not want to be on Europe's side of a war with Russia, right? I could see Donald Trump, who's already cut off aid to Ukraine, trying to get the Poles to do it too. I mean, this is the problem, is Putin is expert. I mean, thank you, Sadie. And this is incontrovertible fact. Putin is expert at doing crap that basically is a declaration of war, but is a declaration of war with a small d instead of a capital D, so that NATO doesn't go to war in response. He keeps sending drones into our territory. He was practicing blowing up DHL flights, but he didn't quite do it yet. He sent a hit squad, or was preparing to send a hit squad, to kill the head of Rheinmetall, the German defense contractor. These are acts of war. But would NATO go to all-out war with Russia over this? No, right? He sent all the assassins to kill all those guys in the UK with poison, right? They killed the Ukrainian soldier in Madrid. It was in maybe not Madrid, but it was in Spain. These are all acts of war. Remember at the beginning of the war when somebody was sending like feces and stuff to all the embassies in Europe? We know it was the Russians. I mean, they do things that many of them, Navalny, many of them are acts of war, but the cost of going to war stops us from going to war. And that's the kind of concern of what might happen, is that he does something again. Oh, no. It was a mistake. Our GPS was wrong. We didn't mean, we only entered 2 kilometers of Poland, 1 mile. We didn't mean to enter Poland, but our trucks have all broken down and we've got 5,000 troops and we can't really move them right now, but we'd be happy to. And then he finds some other excuse and some other reason. And all of a sudden you've now got Russian troops sitting on Polish soil. Again, do we risk nuclear war over that? Maybe. Maybe not. Putin might be betting that we don't. I would argue we might not, right? I mean, if Putin invaded and started heading toward Warsaw, yeah, we'd go to war. If Putin accidentally crossed the border because his GPS broke and they stopped a couple kilometers in, would we go to war? No, that's the concern. That's always been the concern. And then he uses it, like I said, to stop European support. You know, I mean, again, I hope it doesn't happen. And I hope, frankly, Europe says, and the Poles say, like you've got until 5 o'clock tomorrow, or we're going to war, or we're removing those troops with B-52s or whatever the hell, right? Would be what, because that would get Putin's attention. But, that's the concern here. Finally, Ukraine says it urgently needs more missiles for Patriot air defense systems to intercept ballistic threats. All right, I'm going to sit back here and relax a little bit. Anyway, oh la 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 la. Mods, I don't know if that person on YouTube was a regular, but that comment sure didn't sound like a regular comment. If it was, let me know, but that seemed like a troll comment. Do we have any to spare? Probably not. Probably not. Anyway. All right, get my flowers in the picture because they're pretty. There we go. Anyway, we did. Yes. The U.S. looks like we may have just cheated our way at the World Cup. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. I don't really have any more on Ukraine for today, to be honest. The Ukraine news has been kind of slow. You know? Declined the reversal. What was that? Oh, okay. They were first. Okay, man. Then they were trolls. Yeah. I figured they were trolls. But then I was worried and I went, is there any possibility that that's a normal person saying anything? You know? We'll be doing more Ukraine news. There isn't always Ukraine news here, So yeah, Mitch McConnell, nobody knows what's going on with that. I don't know. So, and mods, I don't mind you occasionally updating people in the comments about what's going on. So, maybe not all the show, but like right now people are asking on TikTok if you need to update them. I'm just not going to look. Anyway, we've still got 25 minutes. I don't know if we're going to hang 25 minutes, but anyway. Ukraine hit a big refinery in Siberia. Oh, that's good. They've been hitting stuff every day. I mean, it's been wonderful. But they're in very bad shape because of the Patriots, unfortunately. So, but they've caused, they're saying the gas situation in Russia is very bad, which is good. The gas situation, gasoline is really bad in Crimea, which is really, really good. Hey, Jean-Marc. That's obviously fabulous. You're a Star Trek doctor. Cute. This is not good for what's going on with Putin right now. Thank you, Amanda. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. This is not good for Russia. And I was saying it on maybe in the comments on TikTok. Ukraine is now winning. Russia is now losing. But Ukraine, I had put my little sticky thing up and it started coming up to put them back up again. I was trying to move my curtain over here. It came down. Let's see if that stays. The Russians are losing, the Ukrainians are winning, but it's kind of like the war was maybe the Russians were 52% winning or maybe 53% winning, and the Ukrainians were 47% losing, right? So like it was just a little bit. Now it's maybe Ukraine 53% winning and Russia 47% losing, right? So like Ukraine's winning, but they're winning by a smidgen. It's hurting Russia a lot, but they're not winning back their country in the next month or even the next year necessarily, right? That's sort of the problem with it is now it's better than Russia winning, right? Ukraine is doing better than Russia. But Russia has so much land, it's going to take a long time to get that land back. But Russia's not doing well. They're losing a lot of men. That's good. So that's why you can say Ukraine's winning and Russia's losing, but Russia could be losing 99-1, or you could be losing 51-49, right? You get what I'm saying. It's like a tug of war, right? The tug of war, are you slowly losing or are you getting pulled away? This is a very slowly getting pulled this way instead of this way. But again, still, but at the same time, Russia's losing tons of men and women troops, which is great. So thank you for the gift there for the Polaris. Thank you, Kennedy Zenz. So anyway, yeah, they're causing major trouble with the oil refineries, which is good. Lines for I know what I was going to tell you. Actually, this was very good today. Preston Stewart had a report that there's an app that Russia. Oh, thank you, Sadie. There's an app the Russians are using because they're having so much gasoline crisis in Russia because of the Ukrainians. They've got an app for figuring out which gas stations have gas and which ones don't. Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. And people self-report. 9 people say this gas station has gasoline. Well, anybody in the world can sign on to the app. You don't have to be like a local user. So people have been going on and just reporting bullshit. Like stations that don't have gas, they say they have gas. Stations that have gas, they keep going in there and saying there isn't gas. And they've totally now made the app entirely worthless for the Russians, which I thought was rather simple and brilliant at the same time. Yeah, I did see that. I forgot about that one today. Preston had. I watched it, but I forgot to sort of write it down for you guys. It was very cute. Cuba, there's really no news on Cuba, Tina. I mean, Trump has been trying to strangle them. He's been sending, negotiators, but we haven't actually had any news on what's going on with Cuba, really. So I don't really know. Oh, JMC goes, I just realized you were calling Alexa about the heat. I kept thinking you were calling out to somebody in the other room. Did you like, Ma, it's too warm in here. No, it's my Alexa because normally I use my phone, but I'm using my phone as my camera for YouTube and Substack and all of that. So I can't use my phone to adjust the temperature up and down. And it is true. This apartment, for whatever reason, in the summer, winter too, it kind of goes hot, cold, hot, cold. So it's kind of annoying. Yes. But that's really funny. I'm calling to my friend Damien in the other room. Damien, adjust the temperature. That's funny. I know it does confuse the other Alexas. That is true. The ducklings, God only knows. I mean, we haven't had an update on the, I'm going to see with Damien if he wants to go. I messaged him. I don't know if he responded. If he wants to try to go by that crazy fair. We could try to go by the reflecting pool and look again. I don't know if there's any news. Huge blackout in Cuba? I don't know. But I don't know if there's any news from the reflecting pool. DC smog, where I live, was not bad. It went into Virginia this year. Normally, it comes north and covers the city. I mean, quite literally, the normal fireworks, it looks like fog outside. It's crazy stuff. Well, this year, because of the wind, it all went to Northern Virginia and really horrific amounts. Thank you, Brown Eyed. We had our air quality in DC yesterday was the worst in the world. The meteorologist went and pulled the list, and our air quality was the worst of any city in the world. I mean, bad stuff. So it changed it. Somebody just said my command to Alexa changed the temperature in their house. Sorry. That's actually very funny. Sorry. That's bizarre. That's very funny. I know Alexa still which is weird because you'd think it would be more voice sensitive at this point. You know what I mean? The same crew is going back to fix the pond. Of course it is, because he can't admit that they screwed up. How do you get a new crew? Trump claimed that liberals ruined the pond. He lied. But how do you get a new crew to fix the pond if the old crew didn't break it? Crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, So I've been doing actually a lot more stuff on Facebook too. I mean, same videos, but I've been posting on Facebook. Facebook pays. I'm kind of surprised. Like, I've been very surprised. Thank you, Mary. So I've been making sure to put, I mean, I stream on Facebook anyway, like I am right now, but I've been making sure that all my videos that go up elsewhere go up on Facebook too, because I was shocked as to how good they really are about compensating you. I was like, wow. So I've been doing more videos for that reason now, because, you know, some of the other services who shall not be named, but Facebook, like, damn. You know, there's a lot of crazy people in the comments, unfortunately, but what do you do? You know, I did notice that. Not that we don't get it here, right? You get the crazies on TikTok comments too, you know? The problem is, Jewel, the lives, there's a couple different problems. The lives are recorded on on YouTube, excuse me. Facebook has them too, actually, for a while on YouTube. TikTok saves them, but I've got to download them, and they're not as good of quality, which sucks. Going through and grabbing clips is impossible. I'd have to hire somebody, because my show goes for like an hour and 15 minutes. You'd have to go through for an hour and 15 and watch the entire show and grab little bits that sound good. That's going to take you at least an hour and 15 minutes, because that's how long the show is. But then grabbing each segment is going to take even longer. Somebody would need 2 hours easily to go through and do that. It's just not, I can't do it. It's too much work. So it bums me out, though, because I know like David Pakman and some of those guys do it, and David gets great clips, but I just can't do it. Well, the AI thing kind of sucks, because StreamYard, for example, that I use, now uses AI, and they charge a ridiculous amount. So I can't use StreamYard used to do it like for free. And now it's something ridiculous. They give you like 10 a month or something ridiculous. And I'm like, 10 clips a month? Seriously? Gee, thanks. I do 20 shows a month. No, really, really kind of offensive. Thank you, JMC. We love David. Yeah. So I would love to use those AI agents. They're far too expensive, unfortunately. So that's been a problem, because otherwise it would be fun to grab clips from the live, like if I'm explaining something interesting or having a funny moment or whatever. But God, Alexa, raise the temperature 1 degree. See, and now it's too cold again. But it's, unfortunately. Claude? Can Claude even do that? I don't think Claude can even do that. Can it? I mean, even AI doesn't always, the AI wasn't bad on StreamYard, but now they charge too much. I'm already paying some obscene amount, like $80 a month or something on StreamYard. I mean, it's crazy. I'm paying like $1,000 a year for the service to stream this stuff. That's a lot of money. And then that's not enough to get the AI clipping agent. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, some of us are not big companies. This is rude, Anyway, pisses me off. Yeah. So anyway, what do you do? Anyway, yeah, it's like nippy. That I may have to check that. Now I got to check the temperature, because I told it to turn up, but it may not have turned up enough. What's that here? Yep, see, it's still on. There we go. It was still being a little too hot there. Siri has improved in iOS 27. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because Siri was not the smart. I mean, Alexa became smarter. I still think ChatGPT and Claude and those guys are smarter, but Alexa definitely became smarter. I don't know whether is Google's like thing using Claude or whatever. I forget. Is Claude Google? I don't remember now. Remind me. Is it or no? Oh yeah. Well, I can't control the ads on Facebook, Gunther. Yeah. Oh, and blah blah. Claude is Anthropic. Okay. Oh, Gemini's Google. Okay. But Alexa definitely got smarter, which is good. She was dumb before. But But it'd be nice to have sort of much smarter AI built in with all of the smart home stuff, you know? Yeah, Siri is not smart. No. Oh, interesting, huh? Apple does need to catch up, yeah. Well, or you buy one of the other services, although they may not be for sale, you know? I don't know. My nephew is a big fan of Claude. I've got to know. I think it's Claude. I've been using ChatGPT so much that I like it. I would consider changing, but I do like it. I am on Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern. And then I do a Saturday show at 11 a.m. Eastern for the paid monthly subscribers as a thank you. But otherwise, Monday to Friday, 6 o'clock, I'm on. 6 o'clock DC time, where I am. Oops. Oh, we're doing this again. All right. Doop. There we go. I have trained my ChatGPT. No, my ChatGPT, it's starting to remember stuff that I don't object. You know, like a lot of stuff for Sasha's illness I was asking, and it was remembering, which was really good because it was remembering stuff, which was very helpful. So I like that it is much more, it doesn't remember everything, but it's much more memory intensive of remembering previous things you talked about to build on it, which for privacy reasons, maybe you do or don't want, you know? Oh, thanks, JMC. Appreciate that. Yeah, usually I go an hour 15. So I go 6 o'clock to 7:15 Eastern time US because I'm in DC. And it's Monday to Friday. I mean, unless there's, you know, a death in the family or I'm traveling, it's usually every Monday to Friday. And for the paid subscribers, like we said, then I do a Saturday show, 11 a.m. And it's much more, it's fun though. It's a hangout, you know, but on YouTube, Discord, TikTok, etc. But it's a fun crowd. So, but thank you for that. Oh my God, Graham Plattner. Oh my God. You know, I was going to bring this up actually. The guy running for Maine as a Democrat, he's oh God, this guy from Maine, he was trouble to start with, for running for Senate. Remember, he had the tattoos that were indicative of NZ tattoos and all sorts of crazy shit. Well, now some woman accused him of rape. Oh God. And again, I don't know enough about it, but people are, I mean, I read it right before the show. People are taking it very seriously. People are not taking it as though some kind of, was it a former girlfriend? Okay. People are taking it as a very serious accusation. I mean, I think this guy's toast. This guy's freaking toast at this point. This is, you know, I mean, you know, it's very sad, just very sad. He's done. Yes. At this point, I mean, unfortunately, he's entered Biden territory. And what I mean is when Biden screwed up so badly at the debate that we all went, okay, we want to win this, but like, right? This guy at this point, you know, the election matters, stopping Trump and stuff. Okay. Like enough already. If this is a credible allegation of rape, you know, that may work for Republican presidents. Like I as much as we've got to stop these guys, you know, enough already. Collins, everybody I mean, at this point, I think Collins is going to win. Yeah. I don't know if anybody thought that we were really going to win the Senate anyway. You know what I mean? That was still not clear, you know? But, you know, but the House, we better win the House. We better win the freaking House. That's for sure. So we'll see. Yeah, well, this stuff is bad. Damien doesn't think we can get Texas. I don't know. We'll see. He's very despondent. I mean, Damien knows his stuff, but he thinks Texas is never going to vote for a Democrat. But we'll see. I don't know. You know, Paxton's bad. The polls are tied. You never know. You know. What New York Times had who winning? Plattner? Doubt he's going to win now. I think Plattner's screwed. Or do you mean Texas? Collins is, I wouldn't say Collins votes Democratic often. Collins is, you know, I mean, I don't quite know how it works with getting a new candidate in Maine. I don't know how that would work. I really don't know how that would work. I don't know. I mean, if Plattner were a Republican, he'd probably be growing in the polls. But for a Democrat, I don't know. You know, Amanda, I'm just assuming that's a troll. Sometimes I'm willing to give the credit, but I'm kind of thinking, you decide on that one. Oh yeah. Can I get that one myself? There we go. I got it. Got it myself. See you, John. Anyway. Yep. Yeah, no, he's I don't know how it works though. Like if he steps down, that was a weird one. Yeah. I don't know how it works if he steps down though. I don't know whether I can ask ChatGPT, but I can ask. I don't know if I trust ChatGPT. Better trolls, I know. Well, I can ask, but again, I'm not completely convinced here. Let's see. One sec here. Oops. Okay, I want you to do a little research here to get this right. In the state of Maine, Graham Plattner is running as the Democratic nominee. If he has to resign because of the latest scandals, what happens? Is there a new Democratic nominee? What does, Maine state law say about that?
In Maine, if a candidate like Grant Plattner resigns after winning a primary, the party can only replace them if they withdraw by the second Monday in July, or if they have a catastrophic illness or pass away. If they withdraw earlier, the party can name a replacement before the fourth Monday in July. Otherwise, the original name usually stays on the ballot, though voters might be notified of the change.
Okay, so if he were to pull out because of shame, because of scandal, he would have to withdraw by the second Monday in July in order for the party to be able to nominate somebody else.
Exactly. If he withdraws before that deadline, the party can step in and pick a new nominee. After that date, though, it becomes much trickier. His name would likely stay on the ballot.
Okay, question. So he would have to withdraw by Monday, July 13th. Does the party have to pick a new candidate by Monday, July 13th?
Not exactly the same day. In Maine, the party gets a bit more time. If he withdraws by that second Monday in July, the party can name a replacement by the fourth Monday in July. So they have a couple more weeks to officially
I mean, that coincides with what some of you guys are saying online. So we're going to hopefully hope that's true. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. Honestly, he's toast. I mean, because the problem becomes now too, does he really get seated in the Senate? I mean, I could see, because again, Republicans may not care about this stuff. I could see Democratic senators going, we're not seating you. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know whether Maine's got anybody. Often in the past, you would go to like a previous senator or a previous statesman that you could use. The problem is this is just too damaging. Even if it's not true, it's too much at this point. It's too much. I mean, the issue, JMC, is it depends on state law. That's the thing. When Biden got out, that depended on, DNC rules or whatever. But in this case, it depends on the law in the state because they had a primary and how that works. So it's state-specific law. So yeah, wow. Very interesting. Wow. Very, very interesting. Well, I don't know. Oh man, what a mess though. I mean, unfortunately, ugh, you know, I know. Yeah, Iran. A good question on Iran, especially. I think you had. They're like, what the hell's going on with Iran? I mean, the war's not so. I'd be curious how much traffic is going through the Strait of Hormuz, for example, too. Like, that's a really interesting question. Like, is it really open again? Check the latest news reports. How much boat traffic or ship traffic is going through the Strait of Hormuz? Is it back to normal or not?
Right now, ship traffic through the Strait of Hormuz is recovering, but it's still far below normal. In late June, traffic rose about 50%, though early July daily counts are still only around a third of what they were before the crisis. Oil flows are picking up faster than other cargo, but the region remains risky with threats from Iran.
Wait. So overall cargo is a third of what it would be, and how much is oil?
Oil flows have rebounded more robustly, though exact percentages weren't stated. In general, oil tankers, especially those backed by state entities or operating more discreetly, have returned at a faster rate than general cargo. Meanwhile, total vessel traffic, which includes non-oil cargo, is still about 1/3 of pre-crisis levels.
Interesting. Okay. So total cargo is like 1/3 of pre-crisis levels. Oil's a little higher, but we don't know how much. How do I feel about the World Cup being hosted in the U.S.? That's complicated. Depends what you mean. I don't understand why any foreigner would want to step foot in this country. I don't think it's safe for for them. Under normal circumstances, I would think it's great. But I do worry about the, 1936 Olympics that Germany used to buttress a very evil government, because evil politicians like to use sporting events from around the world to establish their legitimacy. So that worries me. That's not really been happening. Of course, he did just steal the tournament for the U.S. team. There is that. So I'm agnostic on its being here, but But if I were a foreigner, I wouldn't come here. Are you kidding? I guess I am a foreigner. I'm half foreigner now. Always not forget that, but it's like, anyway. All right, guys, it's 7:17. I think we're going to sign off soon. So thank you for joining all of us. Saudi export via pipeline is up. Okay, that's interesting. But I would be curious about the overall numbers, Anyway, thanks, guys. Thanks, mods. This is my usual sign-off time. I will see you guys tomorrow, 6 o'clock Eastern time U.S. 6 o'clock Eastern time U.S. I'm going to keep burping here. And then our usual, we'll just do the blah, blah, blah. Anyway, thanks for the gifts, guys. And I will see you all mañana. I know they're going to try. They'll deport half of me, Karine. I'll get half deported. My Greek side. All right. See you, Discord. Oop. All right. YouTube and Substack. Have a good night. Thanks, Manda.